Hello, and welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and thank you for stopping by. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button, and also if you'd like to be notified of my tutorials as soon as I upload them, hit the bell and you will be notified. Let's get started. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cupcake topper, and I think I'm going to use this image, or so far I think I'm going to use this image. I might change it as I start designing, and I'm going to make a circle. So first I'm going to open a blank sheet by clicking here on this sheet of paper next to where it says projects, and then I'm going to just make a circle by going to cutout in pictures, add a colored shape. It's on circle already, so I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to resize this because I'm going to take it into Cricut and cut it out. So it doesn't matter what size circle I make here because I'll resize it before I cut it out in Cricut. And I want this background to be the same background of the Cheshire Cat's skin. So I'm going to go to cutout in picture, fill cutout or picture, and then choose the red apple, which is a picture, and make sure you already have the background or the photo that you want to drag into the shape open on your tray. And you see it's here on my tray at the bottom of the screen, and I'm just going to left click on that, drag it up into my circle anywhere, and let it go. And now I see here at the top there's a little white area, so I'm going to resize it so that it's filling the entire circle, the print of the Cheshire Cat skin. And you can move it from side to side so that you can decide which part of the pattern or which part of the picture you want within the circle. So I'm going to put it right there, looks fine, and I'm going to hit done. Now the way I want to do this, I want to have a circle and then a cutout in the middle, just to make it look a little different from some of the other ones I see. So I'm going to go once again to cutout in picture, add a colored shape. This time I'm going to change that shape to white, and that's because this is going to be the part that I'm going to cut out, and once I put the extra little picture inside of here. Before I put that there, I want to make a bar down the middle because that's where I'll hide my toothpick. So I'm going to click on this white circle and I'm going to drag it back one layer, and I'm going to go back to cut out in picture. This time I'm going to choose cut out of picture. I'm going to choose with the cookie cutter shape. I'm going to keep it as a square so that it can hide my toothpick, and I'm going to just take this right down the center of my circle. I'm just eyeballing this, but if you are not good at, kind of sizing things up just by looking at it, you can also go in and add some lines. I'm just going to go ahead and do this, and I see that's pretty much in the middle. I'm going to take the check mark out. This is the first time I opened the software today, and the check mark will be in there by default, so always check that so that you don't change your graphic or move your graphic to a different page. I want it to stay on this page, so I'm just going to take the check mark from there, and I want this strip right down the middle. I'm going to hit done. Now if you're not very good at eyeballing the center, before you move this page at all, you're going to go to size and position, alignment guide, and then you can hit a vertical or horizontal line, which I had already moved it so it's not in the middle, but you can do that first off before you make any movements or changes to your screen. As soon as you open up the blank page, just put in your vertical and horizontal lines if you have difficulty lining things up, and it will have it right in the middle of the page. I'm just doing this by eyeballing it, but it will look like that, and then you just hit done. You won't have to move them. They will automatically go down the center and of the page vertically and horizontally. But I don't need those. I think the one I made is pretty good, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. And once I bring my white circle back up one layer, you will see, I want it just up one layer. So you'll see that will be where I'll hide my toothpick. But I'm going to go ahead and make a smaller, because I'm going to cut this white out. So this is going to be open. I might shrink it down a little more so I'll have a thicker edge to put my font around there. And I think that looks pretty good. Trying to make sure I have about the same area all the way around. And now I'm just going to make a second white circle, which is where I'm going to put the picture of the Cheshire Cat. So I'm just going to go here once again to cut out in picture, add a colored shape. I'm going to change it to white, and I'm going to shrink it down so that it's inside of the original circle. Now I'm going to put a shadow around each of these so that it will give it the appearance that it's cut out. So I'm going to go here to Special Effects, Shadow, and I'm just going to put a light shadow on there, or I could put a solid shadow on there. I think I'll go with the solid shadow. And I'm going to just make sure that it's the same all around, or close to it. That's pretty good. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this inner circle. I'm going to click it and go once again to Special Effect, Shadow, and I did a drop left, and then I just resized it so that it would be showing on all sides of the circle. And I think I'll make this one the solid pink. Let's see how that would look. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. So this will be where my toothpick is hidden, and now I'm going to see about dragging up my image that I want to use here in the middle. And I can even make his balloons come up higher so that it will kind of cover up part of where I'm going to be hiding the straw. Actually, I might just be able to make him big enough where he will attach it, keep it attached. I think I'll try that and see how that looks. And then I don't have to have that down the middle. Yeah, I think that works. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So that will look, I think that'll be perfect. So he'll keep it attached here and keep it attached there, and then this white area will be gone, so it will be see-through basically. And now I'm going to put Happy Birthday Liliana around the edge, and see, I think I'll probably just do it in white so that it will show up, because it might not read as clearly if I have it cut out, and it'll also take longer to cut these out. It'll take longer to make it on the Cricut. So I think I'll just go ahead and put the writing on here and make it look like it's raised by putting some shadows on it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move this down a little bit, or shrink. I'm going to shrink him down a little bit so that I won't be covering up the letters when I put the letters around here. So now I'm going to go to Cutout in Picture. Noisy cars around here. I have the windows open. It's a little warm in San Diego, but not warm enough to have on the air conditioner. So now I'm going to go to, hopefully the noise is not too distracting for you. Now I'm going to go to text, add text, and I'm going to change it to white, and I think I'll apply an edge to it. I'm going to highlight the edge by going to Apply Special Effects, add a highlight text edge, and I'm going to choose the thick edge, and I think I'm going to make it black so that it will make the writing stand out. So I'm going to click done so that I can go back and change the font. I'm going to click done a couple of times, and now I'm back to the font, and I'm going to make this all caps, and I'm going to say happy, I'm going to change the font eventually. Happy 10th birthday. I'm going to make the TH small. It just looks better that way. And then go back to all caps, birthday, and her name is Liliana. So I'm going to type in her name, 2 L's and 1 N, I believe. And now I'm going to go once again to apply special effects. Well, first I'm going to change my font. I like to use Arial Black because it's nice and chunky, and it should show up really well. Plus it should make the letters look good. Right now this font is kind of weird as comic strip. I don't really like this one. So I'm going to just click in the area where it says comic strip sans, which is the name of the font, and I'm going to type an A, and it brings me to all the fonts that begin with A, and I'm going to choose Arial Black, and you see that makes it show up much clearer and nicer. Now I'm going to go down here while I'm still in the same window. I'm going to go down here to where it says apply special effect, and this time we're going to do the bend text. And you've probably seen, I'm sure I did the text bending in one of the other tutorials, but I'll show you again how to do it here. I just usually choose one of the default circles, whichever one is closest to the curve of the circle I'm working with, and then I just fine tune it by clicking down to decrease the curve, and click up on the arrow next to the numbers here to increase the curve. So I'm just going to increase that curve until it's around the edge, or going along, lining up with the edge of my pink and hot pink circle. What I'm trying to do is make sure it's the same amount on the bottom as it is on the top. And I think I need a couple of more clicks to get it there. Alright, that looks good. And now I could make this larger, because you can make the font go into a complete circle. So let me try doing that and see how I like it. If not, I will bring it back down. So I just made it bigger. I resized by pulling on the corner. If you pull on the sides, it's going to make the font be out of proportion. So I'm just pulling on any of the corners to resize it. Now I'm going to click again on bend text, and I'm going to start clicking up so that it will bring that circle or the font around into a complete circle. So you can just click and click and click until it gets there. I'm just clicking up until it turns it into a complete circle, and then I'm going to resize it around my ring. And I'm probably going to put a heart or a dot or something at the base of the name so that the letters aren't running together. Once I get them close enough. Alright, maybe that will work. So I hit done, and now I'm just going to resize this out some using the corner arrow only. And I see that's a little too big, so I'm going to shrink it down some, and I'm going to decrease that circle. So I'm going to go back to bin text, and this time I'm going to click down on the down arrow because I want enough of that pink showing behind the lettering. So let's see how that looks. Let me move that up a bit. And I think that looks fine. But I have I'm a little too close. I'm going to shrink it down a little more, open it up a little more. And I'm going to once again click on the down arrow to open that up. Kind of center it, try to see if that's where I want it. I want it the writing a little smaller. So I'm going to open it up more by clicking down. And you're just going to do that until it's pleasing to your eye, to the design that you're working on. Shrink it down a little bit more. Okay, I think that works pretty well. So now I'm just going to fill this area in with maybe a heart, or I think maybe a few hearts. So I'm going to go to cut out in picture, add a colored shape. I'm going to choose a heart, and I'll just make it white. I can give it an edge by going to edge effect so it will mimic the edge of the lettering. Change it to black, and then I'm going to just shrink it down some. I guess I'm going to shrink it down this way, and then I'll see how thick I need to make that border. So I'm just going to put, I think I'm just going to put one heart here, and I'll just curve the lettering around a little bit so that it will put it right in the middle of both the H of happy and the end of her name. Shrink this down a little more. And now I'll go ahead and go back to edge effects, highlight edge, click on the thick under edge, and I'll resize that border so that it mimics the same thickness that's on the letters. And I'm going to hit done. And now all I have to do is cut this white rim out from here, and I'll be ready to take this and save it as a PNG, and then I'll be ready to take it into Cricut to cut them out. I still see I need to make some little adjustments here. I pulled from the side, and I always tell you all not to do it, but with lettering sometime I did say you can get away with it. So I'm just going to position this a little bit. I could probably pull my circle out a little because it's still going to look like a circle, so that it will look like it's the same all the way around. Just need some micro adjustments. Okay, I think that's going to work. And I can, if I want, I can duplicate that heart to see how it would look. I'll make these two a little smaller to fill in some more of that space. And I'll give them a little curve so it looks like they're going along with the curve as well. Okay, I think that looks cute. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take, I think I'll leave that edge there. I'm going to take it from around the pink circle. So I'm just going to go back into Special Effects Shadow. You can leave the shadow if you want, but I'm taking it out because I wanted to have just the pink circle there without the rim. But I'm keeping the rim on between the white and this portion, the outer ring. And I think I'm going to put a slight edge around the outer ring. And then I'm going to go to Special Effects and Shadow. I'm going to go to Drop Shadow, and I'm just going to once again stretch this shadow out around the circle just to give it a little bit of an edge. I don't want that much. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to hit done. I can easily take this white out in Cricut. So now all I have to do is save this. I'm going to save it as a PNG for now, and I'll just pull this white out once I have it in Cricut. So I'm going to go to File, Save As. Where it says Pictured Format, I'm going to click that arrow and then scroll down until I get to Portable Network Graphic. I choose that and I'm going to give it a name, Cake Topper. And put it in my Party Masters folder. Hit Save. And once it's done, I'm going to open it in Cricut and pull out that white area. So since I want to make these where they will show on both sides, I'm going to show you how to flip this and then flip the text so that the text will read correctly on both sides, but the image will be different. The image here, the Cheshire Cat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here to the right hand layers panel, and I'm going to click on the first item, which is the heart. I'm going to hold the CTRL or control key, and I'm going to click on everything except for the writing. So now I have everything chosen except for the writing. I'm going to lock those together, and you see the writing disappeared, but it's okay. We're going to bring it back to the front. So I'm clicking here on the right hand side, choosing the writing, and I'm just going to drag it back up to the top layer. Now I'm going to click on that bottom layer, which is the pink circle, and I'm going to go to Size and Position, Flip, Mirrored. So now I have the image mirrored, the circle mirrored, but my font is still reading correctly. If I had flipped it in Cricut without doing it this way, then my font would have been backwards. So now I have it the way I need it, and this will make a complete carbon copy, or a complete, absolute, perfect copy of the one that I already have set up in Cricut. And now I'm going to save this one, so I'll be ready to print them out. So now I'm in Cricut. I'm going to choose New Project. First I'm going to replace it with the old project so I can get a new screen. So I'm going to click on Upload, Upload Image, Browse. I'm going to browse to where I saved that, and I saved it in Party Masters. I'm going to scroll down until I see it. It's right here. And now I'm going to, of course, choose Complex because it's a lot of colors in there. I'm going to hit Continue, and now I'm going to pull the white areas out. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit first, if I can choose it without stopping the camera. Okay. Alright. So I'm zooming out. I zoomed out so I could see the whole image. I'm going to click the Select Erase here, which it's defaulted when you are on the desktop. When you're using an iPad, it does not default. You'll have to do it on your own. And it's taking out all of the white. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I want to make sure that I got all the white edge. And yes, I did. So I'm just going to leave that gray edge. Now I'm going to click Continue. And I'm going to choose the Print Then Cut image. It already says Cake Topper. And I'm going to choose Save. Now I'm going to click the image here. It puts that green rectangle around it, and I'm going to go to Insert Images. And now I have my cake topper here. I'm going to go here to Width, and while it's still locked, I'm just going to make it 2.5 inches. Hit Enter, and it resizes it. I'll zoom in some. And now the print and cut parameters are 6.75 by 9.25. So I'm going to make a square just to see how many I can get on the page. So I'm going to make a square, and I'm going to unlock it and make it 6.75 by 9.25. And the height, I'm going to make it 6.75. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then I'm going to just bring this to the front by right clicking and choose move, send to front. And then I'm just going to, let me move this down a little bit so I can see the top, and I'm just going to see how many of these I can get on this page. So I'm going to right click and duplicate one, then I'm going to choose two of them. I don't want to choose this. I'm going to move this off to the side so I can just duplicate this about 8 times. Alright, now I'll bring this back over, and I'm just going to position these around to see if I can get 8 on here. Or maybe I can get more. Yeah, I think I can get, oh no, maybe not. Let's see, move that one up, move this one over a bit. I don't want them touching, because if they're touching, then I'm going to have to cut them apart, snip them apart. So I'm just going to move them out a bit, but I don't want them touching. So it looks like I can get 7 on here. Let me see if that'll fit in there. Nope. Let me move these down a little bit. I might be able to get 8 in there. Yeah, okay. I had to maneuver them around a little bit, but I got it. So I'm just going to move these in a little bit so that they're not completely touching. Alright, so now I can get rid of this back piece, and I'm just going to group all of these and attach here on the bottom right hand side, and I'm going to hit make it. Now once your cupcake topper halves are all cut out on your Cricut, you're going to assemble. And assembly is so easy, I decided I would just do a virtual assembly, because this is exactly how you're going to do it with the actual items. And what you'll need is a hot glue gun with glue. You'll need sandwich or regular toothpicks, and these are the sandwich toothpicks. They're just a little longer. You want just the wooden ones, not the ones with the little frilly decoration on there, the little plastic in different colors. You just want plain wooden toothpicks. The sandwich toothpicks are just a little longer than the regular toothpicks, so you'll probably do better with the sandwich toothpicks. You're gonna get both halves of your cake topper. This will be the back half, this will be the front half. So once you have those, you see that the image is mirrored on each piece. So you're going to flip this one and it's going to look like this. Next, you're going to take your glue gun and you're just going to, from about the middle of the cupcake topper, just draw a line of glue straight down. Then you're going to take your toothpick or your sandwich pick and you're going to drop it and press it into that glue. Now all you're going to do is get your glue gun again and you're going to go all the way around this edge with your glue, making sure not to get it in the open spaces, and then you're going to put some glue in here as well. And then you're just going to take your other half, you're going to bring it over until it's centered and glue it in place. And that's how easy it is to make your cupcake toppers. Thank you for stopping by Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Please remember to subscribe and to leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.